The election for Chicago's mayor is finally over. It took a runoff vote, but Mayor Emmanuel won a clear victory over Jesus Chuy Garcia. Good Day DePaul's Hannah Hoffman reports that some DePaul students played a part in the mayor's re-election.
With the crowd cheering 4 more years, Mayor Emmanuel and his supporters celebrated his re-election in the city's first ever runoff election. Emmanuel secured 56% of the vote, with opponent Jesus Chuy Garcia at 44%.
I am humbled at the opportunity to continue to serve you, the greatest city, with the greatest people, for the next 4 years. To the second city that voted for a second term and a second chance.
DePaul professor and PBS correspondent Chris Bury has been following the election for PBS NewsHour and has known Emmanuel from his time as President Bill Clinton's chief of staff. Bury believes the runoff actually helped Emmanuel.
One of the most remarkable TV ads, commercials for a politician I've ever seen is Emmanuel's when he's sitting in what looks like a living room in a fuzzy sweater, and he says, "I know I've rubbed people the wrong way."
They say your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. I'm living proof of that. I can rub people the wrong way or talk when I should listen. I own that.
To me, that was a remarkable acknowledgement that he has a personality problem, that he strikes a lot of voters as abrasive, even arrogant. They were able to take a disadvantage and maybe making an advantage out of it.
Bury feels the mayor's campaign ads helped clarify his positions and weaken Garcia.
One of the things that Emmanuel's campaign was able to do in its commercials was to define their opponent, Garcia, as a man without a plan. That was devastating for Garcia, and it showed in a lot of the exit polls that people heard those advertisements and they believed them.
Though voter turnout remained low at 40%, it was up several points from the initial February 24th election. Emmanuel campaign volunteers were out in force before the election.
Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm a volunteer with the Rahm Emmanuel campaign, and we're just stopping by to see if we can count on your vote in tomorrow's elections.
DePaul sophomore Catherine Vegas worked on the Emmanuel campaign for 4 months.
Let's keep going.
In the days leading up to the election, Vegas canvassed around the Lincoln Park neighborhood, hoping to secure more votes for the mayor.
Face-to-face contact has been proven to be the most reliable way to ensure people get to the polls. It's interesting in seeing the different diversity and demographics and working within the wards and trying to mobilize them as individuals and then unifying them together to elect Rahm Emmanuel.
Many of Rahm Emmanuel's supporters out tonight at the Plumbers Union on the west side of Chicago believe that more work needs to be done. But they believe the mayor's proposals for the future, including raising the minimum wage and giving benefits to ex-offenders, are the right moves for the city of Chicago.
I'm an ex-offender, but I was given a second chance, and I feel everybody should be given a second chance.
For DePaul Jr. Bodana Bari, who also worked on the campaign, the issue of crime was a major factor in her decision to support Emmanuel.
Throughout the past 4 years, we have seen crime go down in the city, and I think that's a really important thing.
But with crime rising in recent years and the city's economic deficit increasing, Emmanuel's second term faces some major battles. Comedian Jon Stewart called out the mayor on The Daily Show for what Stewart called the lack of progress the mayor's made in the past 4 years.
The report is in on everything you have done wrong, and we feel that that report is punishment enough.
DePaul professor Bury says the runoff showed that Chicagoans are tired of the political dynasties and want a choice. The runoff was also a wake-up call for the mayor. He now has 4 more years to show what, if any, changes he will be making. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Hannah Hoffman.
Even though he lost, the Chuy Garcia campaign meant a lot to Hispanics in Chicago, including some at DePaul. I talked to both students and faculty about the importance of that campaign.
Joy! Joy! Joy!
In the initial mayoral election on February 24th, Garcia surprised Chicagoans by gaining 33% of the vote. He found success by focusing on issues that Mayor Emmanuel was criticized for, such as closing 50 schools and installing red light cameras. Garcia's campaign excited Hispanics across the city, including DePaul Jr. Jennifer Herrera.
I feel he represents the Latinos here in Chicago and all over the United States. I feel he kind of like an icon like Obama. He is starting to be an image where people are realizing that the Latino community is empowering and is growing.
Garcia also found support from a DePaul student-run organization, DePaul Students for Jesus Chuy Garcia. Even as Mayor Emmanuel pulled ahead in the polls in the last days of the campaign, Garcia remained positive. On April 7th, DePaul students and Chicagoans went to the polls, while later in the day, Garcia supporters gathered at the UIC Forum to find out the results of the runoff. In attendance were political leaders such as Reverend Jesse Jackson and Garcia's longtime friend David Orr. Finally, Garcia took the stage to concede that the mayor had won.
I just spoke with Mayor Emmanuel to congratulate him. And I wished him and his family well. This was a hard-fought race, but it's over now.
The 2015 Chicago mayoral runoff ended with Rahm Emmanuel reclaiming his position as mayor. However, candidate Jesus Chuy Garcia made a name for himself and the Hispanic community as he pushed for change in Chicago.
Despite the loss, DePaul's Director of Latino Media and Communication, Cristina Benitez, says Garcia's campaign signals a change in Chicago.
Definitely, I think it means a change for Chicago. Having somebody run as a mayor of the city definitely is indicating change is happening with the Latino community here.
So what led to Garcia's defeat? Some feel he was too vague about explaining his proposals, especially his plan for dealing with the city's economic problems.
So as a Latina, I would love to see a Latino in the position, but I want to see somebody who's going to really follow through and have a platform and have policies that he can say when it's all over that he actually accomplished this. And I think, and I'm not in a minority here, but I think quite a few people felt that way.
Despite this, Garcia and Emmanuel made history by battling in the first ever runoff election in Chicago, and voters across the city will remember the 2015 mayoral election. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Ashley Holden.